Hey, just a quick moment before we start. First off, thank you so much for all the love and support so far. Seriously, it means the world to us. We're just a tiny team of 3 people making these videos every day. And yeah, it takes a lot of time and energy. At the pace we're growing, there's a real chance we won't be able to keep this going long term, unless things pick up. And since we haven't hit 1,000 subscribers yet, we don't make a cent from ads. YouTube doesn't even let us turn them off, or avoid the ones halfway. So if you enjoy our stories and you want to help us stick around, the best thing you can do is super simple. Like the video, leave a quick comment, or share it with someone who might enjoy it too. It makes a huge difference in helping YouTube show it to more people like you. Thanks again. Now let's get into the story. Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. You've chosen a gentle journey tonight, one that will guide you into a realm of lush greenery, softly glowing lights, and a warm, enchanted hush. In just a moment, you'll begin your expedition into the Jungle Book's Firefly camp, where the mysteries of a starlit night can help you drift into a peaceful slumber. For now, settle in. Find a comfortable position, whether you're lying down with your head nestled into a pillow or reclining in a favorite chair. Take a slow breath in and allow your shoulders to soften as you exhale, letting tension slip away like a leaf floating on a quiet stream. You might notice how your eyelids already feel a little heavier, as if ready to close and invite the comforting darkness of rest. Let your imagination begin to wander, drifting gently toward a distant place where fireflies glow. The air is warm and a sense of wonder fills your heart. Allow each breath to be an invitation to deeper calm, deeper relaxation, and the promise of a tranquil story unfolding before you. Now, let the tale begin. Beyond a towering line of ancient teak and mahogany trees, an evening hush settled over a remote jungle clearing. Low-hanging vines swayed, gracefully draping the thick branches in a curtain of emerald leaves and tender shoots. A path wound its way through tall grasses, their tips glistening with dew. Gently and slowly, the day receded into the cool embrace of twilight, painting the sky in glowing hues of gold and gentle purple. Along this meandering path, a slender figure made its way toward a hidden sanctuary, known to a few as the Firefly camp. In the midst of broad-leafed plants and small ponds crowned with water lilies, this unassuming traveler marveled at the deep hush that wrapped around every step. The jungle seemed to hold its breath, as though waiting for a nighttime secret to reveal itself. Illuminated by the last rays of sunset, the figure paused, quietly listening to the drone of cicadas and the distant call of birds taking refuge for the night. Moments later, the path opened into a welcoming clearing, where snug canvas tents formed a circle around a wide, tranquil fire pit. Softly lit lanterns hung from low branches, their glow subtle enough not to overshadow the faint, curious flickers of nature's own tiny lanterns. Fireflies. At the center of this clearing, a small, time-worn sign read, "Firefly Camp." Its letters, once painted in vibrant turquoise, had faded through years of damp monsoon rains and blazing tropical heat. Here, the gentle traveler came to pause, as though invited by an invisible call. Slowly, the the figure stepped forward, drawn not by curiosity alone, but by a sense of calm and belonging, an intuition that this was a place made for rest, for communion with the soft wonders of the night. A caretaker soon emerged, a figure whose presence exuded quiet serenity. With kind eyes that shone in the dying light, this gentle soul offered the newcomer a silent welcome, followed by a warm nod of acknowledgement. No grand gesture was needed, for the hush of the evening spoke more eloquently than words ever could. The traveller recognized that what lay ahead was an evening of relaxation and hushed revelation, a chance to dissolve the worries of the world. As twilight deepened, the watchful trees seemed to bend a little closer, their branches thick with clusters of glossy leaves shaped by the day's humidity. The air felt comforting against the skin, just cool enough to soothe, yet warm enough to keep one cozy. Across the clearing, the faintest glow of fireflies gathered, weaving their way around the tents. To witness their glimmer felt like glimpsing a humble secret whispered by the wilderness itself. The caretaker gestured toward one of the tents. Its front flap, tied in a neat roll, revealed a plush arrangement of soft blankets laid atop a raised sleeping cot. Tucked inside were a woven mat, a smooth gourd filled with fresh water, and a small earthen cup for tea. Everything was arranged with tender care, as though anticipating the traveller's arrival. The traveller ran fingertips along the edge of the cot, feeling the gentle texture of the fabric. In that moment, a sense of timelessness took over, as though the rest of the world had melted away, leaving only the hush of the jungle. Night fell slowly, like a curtain of velvet drawn across the sky. One by one, the lamps outside the tents were lit, each flame dancing against the darkness. Fireflies rose in greater numbers, their luminescent bodies pulsing in soft patterns. Occasionally, one would drift near the lanterns, its little glow shimmering in tandem. Observing this dance, the traveller felt the day's strain ease away. Questions of tomorrow, of distant places, of tasks and obligations, gradually receded from conscious thought. Sitting near the fire pit, the traveller basked in the gentle blaze of a small fire. The flames waltzed across dry kindling, sending pops and crackles echoing into the quiet night. Sparks flew upward like miniature stars embarking on a swift voyage skyward. Between the dancing flames, glowing embers whispered warmth, and the caretaker, watching with calm attention, occasionally added a log to keep the fire's glow steady and reassuring. Beyond the ring of tents, the jungle remained alive with its own nocturnal symphony. A rustle of leaves signaled a passing night creature, perhaps a small civet on its evening prowl. The soft hoot of an owl, perched somewhere unseen, punctuated the air. Beneath the thick canopy of treetops, moonlight fell in pale beams that slid across surfaces of wide elephant ear leaves. Each patch of silvery light merged with the sparkle of endless fireflies, creating a tapestry of soft luminescence. The traveller felt gently lulled, the eyes growing heavier, the mind floating on the hush of the moment. For a time, The traveller and caretaker shared a companionable silence by the fire. The traveller's breathing slowed, matching the calm lullaby of flickering flames. Then, the caretaker rose, as if guided by an ancient routine. With careful steps, the caretaker crossed to a small bamboo table near the largest tent. Upon it rested a teapot made of dark clay, slightly chipped at the rim but carefully mended. Next to the teapot, a jar brimming with herbs gleaned from the heart of the jungle waited to be steeped in steaming water. The caretaker added a generous pinch of these leaves, poured hot water, and watched as the brew infused in gentle curls of fragrant steam. Soon, the caretaker beckoned the traveller closer, pouring this aromatic tea into the earthen cup. Raising the cup, the traveller inhaled a soothing blend of mild spices and jungle greens, a scent reminiscent of rain-soaked leaves, honeyed blossoms, and cool earth. With every slow sip, the warm liquid spread comfort through the traveller's body, settling in the core like a gentle glow of reassurance. Time seemed unhurried, as if the night had expanded to contain an infinity of stillness. The jungle's quiet rustle and the soft pulses of countless fireflies reminded the traveller of the perfect rhythm found within nature. After savouring the last of the tea, the traveller placed the empty cup beside the teapot, feeling a sense of gratitude for this nurturing ritual. The caretaker, with a gentle bow, returned to the fire pit, leaving the traveller to drift wherever the silent enchantment might lead. The tents, the fire, the fireflies, they all beckoned, each one offering a sanctuary of tranquility. The clearing itself was a breathing, living being, nurtured by the caretaker's devotion and the silent magic of the forest. Across the circle of tents, another light flickered. It came from a small glass lantern set near the trunk of a large banyan tree. Here, the caretaker sat on a weathered chair, carved from a fallen log years ago. A hush passed over the camp. As moonlight poured more generously onto the clearing, the caretaker lifted a hand in a subtle gesture. From the nearby grass and bushes, more fireflies emerged. Their wings fluttered, floating around the caretaker, forming a gentle display of winking lights. The caretaker, in near meditation, observed their serene dance. It seemed these fireflies recognized a friend, a guardian of the night's mysteries. The traveller watched from a distance, mesmerized by the wonder of it all, feeling the edges of consciousness begin to blur. There was no rush, no urgency, only a continuing invitation to rest. By now, the night was thick with a fragrance unique to tropical jungles. The swirling aroma of damp earth, jasmine in bloom, and the faintest trace of smouldering wood combined to make the air sweet and heady. Branches swayed in a soft breeze, carrying the scent through the clearing in refreshing waves. The atmosphere felt suspended between waking and dreaming, where hidden thoughts and quiet reflections mingled in the hush. If one listened closely, the nighttime world revealed itself in the faint notes of frogs calling from a pond beyond the trees. Eventually, the traveller wandered toward the edge of the clearing to explore the mesmerizing light show of dancing insects up close. Carefully picking a path among moss-covered roots and tangled vines, the traveller paused by a cluster of long blades of grass. Flickers of light rose and fell, flashing every few seconds, as if choreographed by an unspoken command. For a moment, a single firefly drifted near, hovering in the space between the traveller's gaze and the thick, leafy background of the jungle. In that stillness, it was easy to forget anything but the present moment. That little glow, bright as a tiny star, pulsed in time with the quiet heartbeat of the forest. With renewed calm, the traveller returned to the centre of the camp. Warm shadows clung to the paths, cast by lanterns swaying from low branches. Feeling a renewed sense of coziness, the traveller took a seat at the edge of a wooden bench situated near a large trunk ringed by gnarled roots. The caretaker approached with another nod, acknowledging the peaceful mood. Side by side, they listened to the night. No conversation was required. The hush spoke volumes. In the midst of this stillness, the traveller noticed that thoughts grew lighter and gentler. The mind followed each subtle rustle, every glow of the fireflies, every whispered hush of the breeze. There was no place else to be, no pressing matter to solve. The caretaker eventually rose, picking up a small drum from a woven bag. Lightly tapping a steady, soft rhythm, the caretaker filled the clearing with a low, resonant pulse. It was never loud or jarring, just a distant heartbeat, a lullaby guiding the traveller ever deeper into a realm where tension dissolves. Long minutes passed. The caretaker's drumming slowed, then ceased. The only remnant was the faint echo reverberating in the traveller's ears, like a memory of gentle thunder in a faraway sky. Now, it was only the jungle's melody that remained, weaving around the camp in waves of hushed life. Warm night air enveloped the clearing, creating a cradle of softness that invited the traveller to yield every care to the night. The caretaker disappeared into the largest tent, returning with a small cushion and blanket, placing them near the fire. Then, carefully, the caretaker coaxed the dying embers to smoulder just enough to keep the clearing softly lit without disturbing the darkness that nurtures rest. All around, the canopy of the jungle sang in quiet harmony. Leaves whispered. Night birds, perched in hidden nests, trilled softly. Occasionally, a gentle rustle in the undergrowth hinted at a small creature on midnight errands. Overhead, the moon had journeyed to its apex, shimmering through a tangle of branches that parted like lace in certain spots. Silvery beams danced on the ground, merging with flickers of drifting fireflies. It was a scene that felt more like a dream than a waking moment, an invitation for any weary heart to find solace. Across the clearing, the traveller rose from the bench and walked slowly, letting limbs stretch in languid movements. Each footstep on the soft earth became a meditation, a mindful act linking body and breath to the tranquil hush of nature. Soon, drawn by the gentle glow of the campsite, the traveller reached the small circle of tents once more. Here, the caretaker was waiting with a soft smile, guiding the traveller into the cosy enclosure of the assigned tent. As the traveller stepped inside, the caretaker quietly unrolled the tent flap, allowing only the softest glow from the lanterns to slip through. Inside, the blankets were warm, arranged with care upon the comfortable cot. A low wooden stand held a tiny candle, placed within a protective glass cylinder. Its flame flickered, casting dancing shadows against the fabric of the tent. The caretaker offered a final gesture of calm, as though saying that the night was just beginning and that rest would come gently. With that, the caretaker parted, leaving the traveller alone in the quiet comfort of this private nook. Settling onto the cot, the traveller felt the body sink into the softness. The day's exertions, if any remained, dissipated under the welcoming weight of the blankets. The earthen floor, though covered with rugs, still carried the warmth of the day's tropical sun, providing a stable, grounding energy. The only sound inside the tent was the gentle swish of fabric whenever the nighttime breeze picked up. Through the slightly parted tent flap, the traveller could see more fireflies dancing, weaving and dipping among the tall grass. Their lights rose and fell like sleepy stars that had drifted near the earth. Time stretched, unbound by the urgency of modern life. The lullaby of the jungle, the quiet hum of distant insects, and the faint rustle of leaves all worked together, lulling the traveller's mind. If eyes closed, they did so without effort, drifting into a half-dream of shimmering fireflies and moonlit paths. If, for a moment, the traveller reopened them, the world remained as calm and patient as before, continuing its meditative pulse. It was as if the entire place existed for one purpose only: to cradle weary souls into profound rest. Outside, the caretaker moved from tent to tent, checking lanterns, ensuring each was set low enough not to disturb. In that careful ritual, the caretaker's devotion shone as brightly as the fireflies. The land itself seemed to appreciate this gentle presence, awarding the caretaker's care with an air of peace. Now and then, the caretaker would pause, gaze up at the sky, and witness the steady drift of clouds across a sea of glittering stars. Some nights, a shooting star might streak across, leaving a brief trail of silver. On those nights, the caretaker would close their eyes, silently making a wish for safe journeys, restful hearts, and tranquil spirits for all who passed through the camp. It was in this spirit of harmony that the traveller, half drowsy but fully content, allowed the mind to slip into memory's quiet corners, where cherished thoughts of kindness and warmth resided. The hush of the jungle invoked recollections of gentle rains, whispering breezes, the soft laughter of friends long gone, and the abiding sense that life can be simple, if only in these fleeting moments. No words needed to be formed. The sensation of comfort was enough. Here, the tension of everyday tasks could melt, replaced by the realization that rest is sacred, vital, and healing. Before long, the traveller's breathing settled into a slow and peaceful rhythm. The small candle in the tent sputtered gently, its flame dancing in the faint currents of air. Shadows pulsed across the tent walls, weaving ephemeral patterns that matched the rising and falling of the traveller's chest. It felt natural, as if each breath was synced with the heartbeat of the jungle, in and out, soft and steady, like waves on a distant shore. Now and then, a faint breeze would carry the fragrance of night-blooming flowers. Their scent, sweet and lightly spiced, found its way into the tent, evoking an air of quiet celebration. It was as if the jungle, in the hush of night, had dressed itself in its finest perfume to welcome any soul seeking solace. The traveller exhaled slowly, letting the sensation wash over them, each breath dissolving more and more layers of wakefulness. And so the night progressed, quiet yet ever so alive with subtle sounds. The almost imperceptible tapping of leaves, the gentle chirp of a lone cricket, the hush of the caretaker's footsteps as they made one final round of the camp. The traveller's eyelids drifted closed, lulled by all that was serene and softly lit. In the lull of near sleep, each detail of the day blended into a tapestry of warmth and calm. Nothing pressing remained, only the sweet embrace of a profound rest. Hours passed as the jungle glided through its nocturnal dance. Overhead, the moon traversed the sky, dipping behind broad canopies, then re-emerging to cast pale light once more. Fireflies continued their flicker, though fewer roamed about so late into the night. In the clearing, the embers of the fire pit glowed like the eyes of a kindly spirit watching over slumbering guests. Not a disturbance could be heard, for in this secret corner of the world, rest was the paramount gift. As the silver glow of the moon began to wane, a tender hush lay like a comforting blanket over the camp. The traveller, resting deeply, felt only the softness of the night, drifting in a place beyond words. Breathing became slower still, body and mind surrendered to the cradle of silence. Each heartbeat steadied, echoing the peaceful rhythms of the sleeping forest. The caretaker, still awake, tended to the final details in hushed motions, ensuring that when the dawn arrived, it would do so gently, without rushing the camp from its blessed tranquility. Now, let your own breathing match this steady calm. Inhale the lingering sense of warmth, of ancient trees standing guard, of soft earth underfoot, and the gentle dance of fireflies. Exhale any last worry, any last thought of the outside world. Feel the enveloping glow of safety, of a hidden sanctuary dedicated to healing rest. Let the quiet weaving of night sounds wrap around you, soothing you ever deeper. Each breath is a step toward the heart of serenity. Each exhalation invites you further into the dreamscape of the Firefly camp, where all is well and time is unhurried. Soften your eyes if they remain open, or, if they're closed, welcome the soothing darkness that accompanies deep rest. Let your muscles go slack, each limb growing heavy yet peaceful. Imagine the velvety breeze gently caressing your cheeks, carrying with it the faint glow of those dancing fireflies, so pure and effortless. Their lights flicker like promises of peace, guiding you onward into a realm of slumber, where the mind and body find true restoration. Let any lingering echoes of the story fade gently, like footprints dissolving in the soft sand. You have arrived at a place of profound quiet, where every breath is a lullaby. Here you are safe. Here you can rest. Let the hush settle over you, welcoming you into a night of tender dreams and deep rejuvenation. Now, dear traveller, allow sleep to take your hand and guide you into its embrace. May the gentle rhythms of the jungle and the soft glow of the fireflies accompany you through the night, bringing you comfort and calm. May your dreams be as warm and serene as the silent glade beneath the ancient trees. And when the morning sun finally arrives, may it find you refreshed, your spirit light, and your heart open. But until then, there is nothing more you need to do. Simply be. Simply rest. Let the story's echoes diminish into the silent corners of your mind, replaced by the quiet hum of slumber's gentle call. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well.